Hi everyone, welcome to Book Boob, where today I'll be talking about my most anticipated 2018 releases. So pull up a chair, grab your favorite drink, and let's talk about books. Now I know this video is a little weird to do since we're already halfway through the year. While I'm recording this video, it's already pretty much the end of June, but most of the books I'm looking forward to reading that are coming out this year don't come out until later. So there's several of these books I'm going to talk about today that aren't even out yet, and there's just a handful that are already out. Disclaimer, when I'm listing these books, I apologize if I pronounce some of the authors' names wrong. I usually pronounce things the way they look, and half the time it's not right. So please forgive me if I pronounce someone's name incorrectly, but let's go ahead and jump in. The first book I'm looking forward to reading is The Window by Amelia Brunskill, and it came out on April the 3rd. Honestly, what grabbed me about this book and the reason I wanted to read it is it's kind of bad, but it's the cover. The cover looks really cool, and it grabbed me whenever I saw it on the shelf. I think it's a book that I normally wouldn't read, at least the premise, but I think it sounds really cool. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit of a thriller. So the story is about these twin sisters. They're very close and they tell each other everything, but they're very different in personality. One day one of the sisters falls out of a window and dies, and through the other sister's grief, she starts looking into why her sister was crawling out of the window anyways, and she starts turning up all these secrets and things about her sister she didn't know. So it sounds like it's going to be a little bit of a mystery, possibly a little bit of a thriller, so I think it's going to be a fun book. And I mean, just look at the cover. Look at the cover. It's really cool. Okay, this next book I am so freaking pumped about. And I'm so frustrated. I don't have this book yet. I want it in my hands, and that is The 49th Mystic by Ted Dekker, and it came out on May 15th. This book happens after Ted Dekker's Circle Trilogy, which is one of my favorite book series. I will probably talk about it in another video because there's so many things to talk about in that series. It's crazy, and I love it so much. But I'm so excited because Ted Dekker has written this book to come after that, and so we're going to be jumping back into that world that he created, and I'm so pumped. Ted Dekker is a Christian author, and he is amazing at writing these suspenseful stories and creating these fantastical worlds, and I'm so excited about this one. This next book I'm going to mention, I'm jumping ahead quite a bit with release dates, but you'll see why. And that one is The Rise of the Mystics by Ted Dekker, and it comes out on October the 2nd. So this one comes out after 49th Mystic. I think it's just a duology, so it's just these two books, but I'm really excited that these both come out this year. I mean, how cool is that? And after I read the first book, then I don't have to wait very long to read the second one, which I'm so pumped, because he usually has a tendency to put a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of his books, so I'm glad I won't have to wait very long for that. But that one's going to be really fun. I love Ted Dekker, and I can't wait to read some of his new stuff. This next book on my list is a fairy tale retelling, which I love. I love reading fairy tales. I loved reading them as a kid. It really hooked me into reading, and I love hearing people's new ideas and seeing these classic stories through a new lens. So this one is called The Mermaid. It's by Christina, and it came out on June the 19th. I don't know a whole lot about this book other than the fact it's a little mermaid with P.T. Barnum, and somehow she ends up a part of his circus or something. I don't know, which it sounds like a fun time. I mean, P.T. Barnum and circus and Little Mermaid, how can you go wrong, right? So I'm really excited about this one. I think it's going to be really fun, and again, this is a really cool looking cover too. I love the artwork. This next book I have heard so much hype about, and the premise sounds right up my alley, and I'm really pumped about it. I think I've said that about every book. I'm so pumped. This one is called A City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab, and it comes out on August 28th, which is super close to my birthday, so happy birthday to me! This book just sounds awesome. It sounds creepy and ghost-tastic. It's not a word. I don't care. It's gonna be that great. So this book follows a girl that can see ghosts. I think her best friend is supposed to be a ghost. Her family, they all travel to Edinburgh, Scotland, and they visit some of the most haunted places in the world, and I think she interacts with some of the ghosts, and there might be some of the history there. So I think it's gonna be really neat. And again, this cover looks really cool. It just pulls me in, but I've heard so much hype about this book, and I'm really excited to read it. Speaking of ghost stories, this next book, again, I'm super pumped about. I'm sorry I keep repeating myself, but I can't help it. And that is The Girl in the Locked Room by Mary Downing Hahn, and it comes out on September the 4th. Mary Downing Hahn is one of my favorite authors. She has been since I was a kid, and she is a master at writing ghost stories. She's written so many ghost stories and they're all so good and they're all so original and I love her so much. Just so much. So this book is going to be creepy and fun and I love a good ghost story. I love to be a little bit creeped out and it's going to be a good time reading this one and I just love her work. Alright, the next book is The Law of Finders Keepers by Sheila Turnage, and it comes out on September the 11th. This is the 4th book in I think it's called the Finders Keepers series, I believe. The first book is called 3 Times Lucky, I think it's called. I don't know. I probably should have done my research. Oops. Okay, so the Law of Finders Keepers is the 4th book in this series, and honestly, it's not necessarily the story in this whole series that's really grabbed me, it's the style of writing. So the story follows this group of kids that they solve mysteries in their small town. Think like Mayberry, where everybody knows each other, everyone's in each other's business. And the style of writing is very southern, is the best way I can say it. I've never read anything with this style, and I've really enjoyed reading this kind of style and I'm excited to jump back into it again and just kind of go back into this very specific style of writing. It's so fun, it's so cute, it's worth reading, I love it, so I'm looking forward to this next one. We're still recording, that's good. This next book is by an author that I have come to love over the past few years, and this one is called The Soot Golem and it's by Jonathan Auxier. It comes out on September the 25th. Jonathan Auxier, like I said, has become one of my favorite authors. He's really good at creating these fantastical, colorful worlds, but he puts darkness in them. Think like Old Brothers Grimm. There's a lot of horrible deaths that happen. It's dark. The world has dark things that happen, and that's so interesting to see in children's literature because a lot of times I feel like things are so sugar-coated. And he does create these fantastical, beautiful worlds, but then he has some darkness in it too, which just creates so much depth. Anyways, back to the book. I'm really excited about this one. It's supposed to be set in Victorian London, and it follows this girl who is a chimney sweep, and I think she gets caught in a chimney and thinks she's gonna die, and she gets rescued by a golem that's made out of soot and ash, and they become best friends. That sounds adorable. So this one's gonna be really cute, and I love Jonathan Auxier's writing, and I'm reading some of his stuff right now as we speak, and so I'm really loving his work, and I'm looking forward to another new book coming out by him. This next book, hold on, I need to get a drink. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I needed a drink of my tea because this book, I don't know how I feel about this one. This one is A Map of Days by Ransom and it comes out on October the 2nd. So I really enjoyed the Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children series. It was really fun. I loved the incorporation of the old photography and images that kind of went along with the story, and it's just this sort of, I don't know, it's this world that was just intriguing to me and I really enjoyed. But here's the thing, I thought after the 3rd book it was done. I had wrapped it up in a nice pretty package in my head and I'd put it on the bookshelf and I was like, we're finished with this, right? And then I heard about this book and it's supposed to be, let's see if I get this right, it's the 4th book in this series, yet it's the 1st book in a new trilogy. I think that's right. It sounds so confusing, but it's following all the same characters. But not that I don't know, I just don't want there to be too much of a good thing because I wasn't expecting this book to come out. I wasn't expecting to have another book in this series, and I thought it was done, and I'm having trouble just putting my mind around another book in this series. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it other than like, I think it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, but I don't know. This last book on my list, last but not least, is Agar Enchanted by Gail, Carson, Levine. Oh my gosh, I can't get it right. And it comes out on October the 16th. This book sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's another fairy tale retelling. If any of you have read Agar Enchanted, that was personally one of my favorite, I think my first fairy tale retelling I've ever read. It's my favorite retelling of Cinderella. I just absolutely love it. And if you have not read the book but you've seen the movie, please do not judge the book by the movie, because honestly the movie was really bad. It was so campy and cheesy and silly and it wasn't good. So please do not judge the book by the movie. I highly recommend reading the book. Anyways, Agar Enchanted is supposed to be a prequel to Ella Enchanted. There's going to be a lot of some of the same characters from Ella Enchanted in it, and the premise of it basically sounds like Beauty and the Beast with Shrek. Yeah, I mean, how can that not be amazing? So I'm looking forward to this one. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be magical. I'm looking forward to jumping back into this world that I read so many years ago, and I'm hoping that it's gonna be a fun, magical ride. Thank you all so much for watching this video and sitting through my list of all the books I'm looking forward to coming out this year. If you heard any of the books I mentioned and you're looking forward to them too, let me know in the comments, or if there are some books that you're looking forward to you think I missed, let me know about them. I want to know. I want to know so I can add more books to my list. Not that I need any more. I think I'll probably be dead before I ever get close to reading all the books that I want to read because there's so many. If you really enjoyed this video, please just Hulk smash the like button down there. I would really appreciate it. You all rock. Thank you so much for being here, for listening to me talk about this stuff, and don't forget to keep reading. Bye. I feel pretty good about it. I can find the stop button.